Pisces, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your September 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So what's going on for the sign of Pisces? If you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with the different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Pisces? What do we need to know for you? Give it one more shuffle. Oh, we have the star flipping out like that. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to get you one more. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So the star with the Wheel of Fortune. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. We have the star representing the grand constellations within the sky, connecting to everything right here. So when we think about a constellation, it's a cluster of stars, right? And we can match them with, lines and say, hey, that's a lion, or that's the twins, or that's Orion's belt, whatever, right? And what you have to understand about the star, it's kind of a representation of your life. Look at your birth chart, all right? If you don't know what a birth chart is, go to Cafe Astrology, do what it tells you to do, and then type in everything, and it will tell you a lot about yourself, a lot about where the planets were when you were born. So we and ourselves are, in a way, are constellations. Now, when we look at this Wheel of Fortune energy, it does mean tables can turn, but it can also represent you going into a new cycle within your life. Remember that you are like a multiple cluster of planets, multiple cluster of stars, right? So going from different constellations right here, connecting to different stars is very important within your life. So you might be connecting more to your 10th house. You might be connecting more to your sun sign. You might be connecting to your Venus sign. So go and look at a lot of different things within your life right here, because I feel like something is about to change. You're moving on to a different form or a different start within your life. You're focusing on something very new, maybe something you haven't focused on before. For example, a lot of people will focus on their job, which is your Mars energy, how you work, how you do things, right? And maybe it's telling you to focus more on your Venus sign, or maybe focus more on your sun sign or your rising sign. Embody that energy, embody that power. Now, on a less metaphysical level, this can represent that you are seeing a constellation, or you're seeing your star that you're following within your life, your goal, your main purpose of existence. And you're finally having like that big break, that lucky break within your life. So let's look at this energy. What do we need to know about the star and the Wheel of Fortune for Pisces? What's going on for you? So I'm using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals in it. So we have the Sun card coming out. So the Sun. We have the Four of Swords in reverse, and we have the Knight of Wands in reversed. Okay. So what I'm seeing for you with this sunlight energy is that you're about to have a very, very happy awakening within your life right here, okay? The sun does represent a new birth to a situation. You are focusing on something else. So maybe you're focusing heavily on your sun sign right here. Now, the sun card is the happiest card in the deck, but it also does represent, kind of like a sad truth, all right? The sun card does represent the child riding on the white horse, and there are sunflowers in the background. The sun is in the air, right? However, everything in the card will die. The child, the white horse, the sunflowers, the sun itself. So it does have a happy beginning, but it ultimately does have a conclusion. When we look at the death card, the sun is setting in the background in the two pillars, right? And when we look at this sun energy, we have to understand that we can be happy in this moment. There is a grand opportunity for us with this Wheel of Fortune and this star. So maybe you're focusing on, the main aspect right here with this star energy, because the star is the cluster of stars and the sun is our sun, right? Now, when we look at this Four of Swords, this is you overcoming a heartbreaking situation from the Three of Swords. Now, Four of Swords upright means that you're having that rest. And then you do have that sword underneath the bed. That means you can go out and fight a new battle. However, with the Four of Swords in reverse, you're waking up to the situation. You're grabbing that sword and saying, okay, I need to go rush into this new situation. But you have the Knight of Wands in reversed, okay? This is actually very good, because you want to go and rush into a new situation. You want to go and take, life by the horns, grab life by the horns, whatever. But this Knight of Wands understands that he could get very easily burned right here. You do not want to rush into a battle impulsively. That's something that's very critical for you. Think things through. Have patience. Patience is very key for you right now. So let's look at this sunlight energy. What's going on with the sun, with the star, Wheel of Fortune? So 3 major arcana is coming out right off the bat. Oh, that card wants to fall, so we'll take it. We have the Knight of Wands upright. Okay, so it's going to make you very, very energetic. It's going to make you extremely happy. So we have the Knight of Wands coming out with the sunlight. and we have the Four of Pentacles, but you have to understand that you have to have patience. You have to pull yourself back. This situation is going to be very, very happy for you. You're going to see something that you truly desire right here, something that means it's kind of like your lucky break. However, in order to have a lucky break, what you have to understand is it's like there is a moment where you have to think things through, right? For example, I'm not saying you're going to hit the lottery. I'm just using this as an example. Say you won like an inordinate amount of money, like $50 million. What are you going to do? Are you going to tell someone immediately, or are you going to sit there and think about that situation? Are you going to let the money burn a hole in your pocket, or are you going to sit there and critically think, okay, what am I going to do with this money? How am I going to make it work for me? How am I going to make this last the rest of my life? Like, you're critically thinking about situations. You're holding on to yourself. You're holding on to the reins right here. You're saying, all right, I'm not going to rush straight into this. You have the Nine of Swords and you have the Three of Pentacles. All right. So what you need to understand is that you need to kind of have like some sort of anxiety about something that you're building right here. All right. What are you going to do with this? You need to keep it a secret. You need to kind of keep it hush. It's kind of like you're awakened to a situation. You want to go and rush out into battle, but you're kind of pulling yourself back. You're saying, all right, I understand what the dangers are within this. I'm not going to let my anxiety gain control over me. However, I have to allow certain situations to play out. I have to be aware of something. So I kind of feel like with the Three of Pentacles, with this Nine of Swords, is that it's kind of like structured anxiety. It's like, say you won that money, and then you're sitting there thinking, well, all these people are going to start talking to me, wanting to, to come into my presence to gain something because they see me building this arch right here. You're very skeptical. You're skeptical, okay? You're having discernment. You're skeptical to the new situation. You're like, okay, how am I going to make it play out for me? With this Knight of Wands in reverse, let's look at it. Queen of Swords, the Strength card. Yeah, the information is very strong for you, and the angels are holding you back, shutting the mouth of the lion. Because you have to actually gain insight and clarity as to what you have right here. I think that's the main problem, Pisces, is that you don't know what you have. All right? You have something that's very, very important, but you don't know how to use it. You don't even know what it does. You're not even sure, like, what's the meaning of it. It's kind of like, say in the Princess Diaries, or let's use that as an example. The Princess Diaries. She wakes up one day and she's like all of a sudden a princess. She's just this normal average person, and then you can't just, start out being a princess. You have to go through all these different things. You have to go through training. You have to go through dancing. You have to learn how to, look the part, dress the part, act the part. Like, there's a very structured situation. You don't just get to present yourself. I'm the princess, the way that she looked at the beginning of the movie. There was all of this process behind it. And that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, is that you're signing the papers. You're making sure things are on, very, very strong, structured, on the up and up. Because I don't think you understand what this is. Now, what is this for Pisces? The Magician. Very, very powerful energy. Okay. You've manifested something. You've worked on something. It's very, very strong. It blends everything together. It is the constellation. It's the constellations of everything. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's an eternal cycle. The Temperance. The angel gave this to you. You have the Ace of Pentacles and the Lovers coming out. This is very beautiful for you, Pisces. You have a very, very good situation coming out for you, okay? Connecting you to the divine, but do not rush it. At the right moment, the Temperance Angel will divinely show you what this means. The Ace of Pentacles connected to God. This work, this thing, whatever this is straight from the divine. It's meant to be there. But here's the thing. The angels, everything's holding you back right now because you're sitting there like, yeah, I have $50 million. Or I have whatever this is. You're getting something, but you don't know what it is. It's very valuable. It's something that is like very out there. It's not normal. It would be like, you inherited the Pink Panther, that pink diamond, and you're like, yeah, that's really pretty. But then everyone's like trying to, say, hey, you need to get a safety deposit box. You need to get this. You need to make sure that it's safe. It's whatever, right? Do you want to loan it to a museum? Which museum are you going to loan it out to? Which one has the strongest security? It's like all these different things, but you're sitting there like, wow, this is a really pretty diamond. This is so cool. I can't believe I own something that's, $200 million. Like, it's kind of like this childlike naivety right there. That's like what the sunlight is. It's kind of like new birth. You've never had something like this before, so you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to act with it. You don't know what it does. Eight of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Tower. It causes confusion and breakdowns within society and situations, whatever it is. But it provides blinding clarity and illumination to things. That's the problem here, Pisces. It shows who you are. It exposes who you are as an individual. The Knight of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Empress. It shows your diligence. It shows your ethics. It shows how things are meant to be. What you have causes a great breakdown. It causes arguments. It causes conflicts because other people are like, how did they get that? What is this? How did they have it? How did they have this knowledge? How did they have this skill? And you're just sitting there as a knight, working away, plugging and toiling on this Empress that you've crafted or has been given to you, has been dropped in your lap. You have all these major arcanas coming out, but you still have no clue what it does. Yeah, you're blocked off to it. The Four of Wands, you're celebrating. You're like, yay, I have this Pink Panther. I have whatever it is. Three of Swords. But that can easily be destroyed, though. That's what you have to understand. Is that whatever this is, it's very strong. It's not something that's meant to be toyed around with. It's kind of like, maybe you are a magician, Pisces. Maybe you have something, maybe you crafted something, maybe you have a skill. And maybe you did it on purpose. You could have been the mastermind and done something on purpose and been like, yep, I'm going to do this. But now everyone's looking at it and people are saying, why would you do that? Why would you give it to this people? Why would you say it like that? What possessed you to do this? And you're saying, well, I'm going to give it to people. And they're like, no, don't do that. It's going to cause tower moments. It's too strong. Whatever it is, people are a little bit scared of the situation, but you're not. You're like, well, I think it should happen. The Fool. You're coming from a very foolish perspective, though. That's the problem, is that you feel like this is something that needs to be explained, but the problem is that it causes an ending and a new beginning. The Devil. The Fool and the Devil. You need to be very aware, okay, of whatever you have. For example, say you were given a bunch of different objects, or you came into money. You have to be aware that people will want to take it from you. People are going to want to rip it apart. People are going to want it for themselves. Sometimes you cannot show people certain things. Sometimes it's best to just I don't know how to explain this, Pisces, to you. I really don't, because it's kind of like conflicting. It's like you have something that's very powerful. It's connected straight from the divine. It's yours. If you give it to people, it causes a huge shakeup. And you might be thinking, oh, well, it was just nothing. It wasn't anything to me. But that's the problem, is it's coming from foolish energy. And when you do that, it unleashes a devil-like Four of Swords. It wakes people up to the devil. The Six of Wands. It gives them victory, though. Is it... Page of Cups. The Justice. It balances it out. What you have balances out the scales of justice. And when I say balances out the scales of justice, it causes a great shift and a great divide within people around you. It shows people's true colors. it wakes people up to the devil. Yes, people get a victory, but you're thinking to yourself, it's nothing but a thing. But here's the thing, people who are desperate, people who are trying to figure things out, it shakes something and it stirs something inside of them from something so small, and you wouldn't expect the amount of magnitude and power. It's kind of like with great power comes with great responsibility, but you don't think it's a great power. It's like, well, anyone could do it if they had their brains, but not everyone does. The Chariot, the Six of Swords. You want to give people a great victory you want to send people a very strong victory message. A strong victory message. That's what your goal is. Maybe you don't think it's that strong. Maybe you just think it's something, but it's a very strong victory message. You have the Page of Pentacles. You're just giving it. With the Knight of Pentacles, it's protected, it's secure. So it's secure, it's protected, but you just want to give it away. You don't really care about it. It's like, well, I did it once, I could do it again, or I have it once, I could have it again. Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands. People are trying to block you from putting this out, though. The Page of Swords, because they see something that you don't see. The Knight of Swords, a message being sent back to you about the Seven of Pentacles. A message of growing maturity. They're going to send you a message about how strong something is, or how it's growing, how it's showing itself. The Ten of Cups. Here's the thing. I think ultimately you're just trying to prove a point. You're just trying to have something for yourself. You're just trying to do something. You're just trying to be happy with something within your life for once, right? I think all you want is the validation behind it. I really don't think you care about how it affects other people or other situations. I think you just want the validation of something. And here's the thing. The validation could come to you in secrecy, but I don't think people want it to come out in public. That's the thing about the devil with that Fool energy. It's kind of like if you were to get $50 million, if you were to get something like that, people would want to come to you in secret with no one else around to talk to you, to give you the validation of that you do own something, of that it's very strong, it's very powerful, but keep it to yourself, please. What are you going to do? The Sun. You're going to do it anyway. Fucking Pisces. You're going to do it anyway. The Ten of Swords. The Three of Cups. Because ultimately, it makes you happy to watch this situation fall apart. It makes you happy. I think that's what people are forgetting, is that I think maybe you do know how strong it is. I think maybe you do know how powerful whatever it is, but you just want to see the calamity that ensues afterwards. It's kind of like just chaos for chaos. You're just like, I don't fucking care. I just want to see how much people are going to rip each other apart to have this Pink Panther diamond. Like, it'd be kind of like you set it out in the road and you just watched people fight over one another and just watched it get worse and worse and worse. And you're just like, oh, well. Because it doesn't mean anything to you. That's the situation, is that maybe you've become so enlightened that something doesn't mean anything to you. And you're just like, well, here, you can have it. And because you do that, it causes a major shakeup. And people are saying, don't put it out in the streets. Don't just let other people have it. Just don't. But you're going to do it anyway because who cares? You have talent and travel. Your talents are going to help you travel, okay? I'm so confused, Pisces, as to why this situation is playing out like this. Let me grab this deck. Hold on. What's going to happen if Pisces just gives it out to people, or just lets people see it, or just lets people know? Maybe you're supposed to just keep it a secret, like, hey, you have it. Shouldn't let anyone know about it, but I feel like you're just going to tell people about it. With that sunlight energy, it's like, boom, here it is. The Three of Knives, the Empress, and the Lovers, along with the Magician. Well, I mean, ultimately, it connects people to a higher power. It connects people to the earth. It connects people to the magician. It connects people to talents. I feel like that's what you want, though. You want people to wake up and see something. Maybe ultimately at the end, you believe in the better nature of humans, and maybe it turns out better than you thought. Whatever the situation is, it turns out better than the other people thought. I feel like they were anticipating the worst, and maybe that's what you're also anticipating is kind of like the worst, but you don't care. But ultimately, however it plays out for you, you're happy. If they rip each other apart, you're okay with that. If it turns out really good, which I think is the situation right here, you're happy with that too. It doesn't bother you one way or the other. It's just it needs to be done. Whatever the situation is within your life, whatever you're connected to, whatever you have, you're just doing something to see human nature play out. But it's yours. You don't know how strong it is. You don't know how valuable it is. Or maybe you do and you just don't care. You have that foolish energy. It's like, oh, well. Because here's the thing. The foolish man has a rose in his hand and he can throw that rose. He's walking off a cliff. He doesn't care. He has his eyes close to the sunlight energy. He does not care about anything because he is the strongest of the cards in the deck. He is the beginning. He is the end. He's just whatever. Werewolf exploring wildness, skull of darkness, blind spots, because he's illuminated by the blind spots within his life. Exploring wildness. Maybe you need to go outside. Maybe you need to, go into nature. Go outside, think about things, see things for themselves. Not see things for themselves, but to see things for what they are, okay? You have Toad, Fortune, Raven, Determination. Okay, so it could be money. Could be that you've worked very hard on something and now you're receiving a fortune off of it. Pay attention to your money aspect right here. Pay attention to your work aspect. We have Answers, open your mind, connect with the higher power, broaden your horizons, and invoke wisdom. I feel like that's what you've done. That's why you have this. We have Dag as day, hope, relief, clarity, understanding, and progress. Spiritual meaning is destiny, higher consciousness, and mutability. That's the thing, is you're providing the daylight. You're providing something for people, a situation. It could be like a new invention. That's the thing. Maybe you're inventing something right here. Maybe you're very talented with something. You've thought of something. You do something. Whatever it is, you don't really care about it. It's just something that you can give to someone or give to people, and it provides them with illumination. It could be a skill. Like, for example, some people don't like the fact I read tarot cards. I could teach people how to read tarot cards. Some people would be like, don't teach people how to read tarot cards. It's dangerous. It's blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, tarot can really help you within your life. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. I prefer if people, were very smart and made educated decisions on what they're going to do. It's not really a game. It's a very powerful tool of mediumship. Okay? You need to be smart about it. However, it's kind of like, give it to them, let them see how it goes. Some are going to have heartbreak and some are going to connect to a higher power. Whatever you're teaching, whatever you're doing right here, you might not think it's a big deal, or maybe you do, but you just don't care. You're going to teach people. It could be like something as simple as, you want to teach people how to, you could be a nuclear scientist, and you're like, yeah, I could teach people how to, create this, that, and the other. And people are like, don't teach people how to do that. You're like, why not? I kind of feel like that's the energy for you, Pisces. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.